Greens everyone, Sylvain Dance 98 back at it again with another reaction. So after watching all those fun videos, we're going to take a look at this. I was recommended this a while ago, but I finally had the time in my lineup to get to it. We're going to check out, could Kiryu take down Passione in Kiryu versus Diavolo? So let's check out what this is about, because it definitely looks like 100x100, but it's not a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character if I remember right. Let's check it out and see how they break this down.
This amazing video sponsored by Surfshark VPN. When I made that Dante vs Gun Devil video, it was because I was playing Devil May Cry 5 at the time. So take a guess at what I've been playing lately. That's right, Like a Dragon. Ichiban, the greatest modern video game protagonist. Did you know 30% of the game's budget went into rendering the bread in this one cutscene? I've also been playing a lot of Lost Judgment. Do not look up the name of the biker gang in Lost Judgment. Worst mistake of my life. Basically, I'm playing all the Yakuza games where Kiryu isn't the protagonist. The Yakuza series always reminded me quite a bit of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They've both got that same bizarre vibe where the tone is always ping-ponging between super serious and incredibly weird and goofy. In fact, there's a scene in Yakuza 0 where Majima even says this. What's that Joe guy's deal? What a bizarre adventure. Geez, a little on the nose, you guys, don't you think? To return the favor, in JoJo's fourth part, there's a scene.
It's just a little bit of a reference that I cannot confirm or deny that one.
Where we can see Josuke playing Yakuza 1 on the PS2. Okay, I made the second one up, but that is a real quote in Yakuza 0. Kazuma, the Dragon of Dojima, Kiryu. He is the most reoccurring protagonist from the Yakuza games. Even if you've never played a Yakuza game, you probably know Kiryu. He's the dame dame guy. And also the guy who slammed the table in this meme. Kiryu is like the Jotaro of the Yakuza series, the stoic badass who keeps showing up even when he's not the protagonist anymore. Frankly, the only difference between them is that one of them actually was present in their daughter's life. At one point, Kiryu was the 4th chairman of the Tojo clan, which is one of the largest Yakuza organizations in all of Japan, totaling over 30,000 members. So yeah, Kiryu is the real
10 years.
I know you saw the thumbnail and went, okay, well, Kiryu is just a guy and Diavolo is... Well, he's barely even a human at this point. This man is a time demon. But I'm sorry. Put some respect on Kiryu's name, okay? Because you are gonna be really shocked when you hear what this man is capable of. Diavolo is the leader of Passione, one of the most powerful Italian mafia syndicates, totaling 757 members. Comparing the Tojo clan's numbers to Passione's, and you'd probably assume the Tojo clan could curb stop Passione through just sheer supremacy of numbers. But you gotta keep in mind, a lot of the Tojo clan members are low-level Yakuza who run collections. Sure, they may look and sound tough, but most members of Passione are stand users. We'll get more in depth with what the hell a stand user is later, but all you gotta know for now is stand users have supernatural powers. Most of these powers fit for combat. An average stand user could probably take out tens if not hundreds of those low-level trash mobs they got polluting the Tojo clan, and Passione is full of these monsters. Chocolato is out here using his stand to casually commit war crimes on the streets of Italy, and if the Geneva Convention can't stop him, I don't see your local Tojo thugs doing anything either. Unlike Passione, the Tojo...
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we're talking about levels, it's like Passione is technically like the Z fighters from Dragon Ball, and then the Tojo clan is basically you got Frieza and the Ginyu forces, the elites, but you don't have many useful grunts after those guys.
clan... Actually, wait, please tell me I'm pronouncing that right.
Welcome to how to pronounce today's word. Passione.
Oh my god, I'm not redoing all those takes, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Unlike Passione, the Tojo clan is perhaps a little too big for its own good. Infighting between different branches and families within the Tojo clan is very prevalent. Maybe if the bigwigs at Tojo HQ got their shit together and purged all the troublemakers, there wouldn't need to be like 2 new games every year. As I said before, Kiryu managed to climb his way up to 4th chairman of the Tojo clan, even though admittedly it lasted less than a day. And in an organization with 30,000 members, being one of the 6 chairmen is a hella impressive accomplishment. Do you know what else is an accomplishment? Getting signed up with Surfshark VPN. Nailed it. Alright, show of hands. Who here still doesn't know what a virtual private network is? The Wild West it used to be. Nowadays, so VPN across to Japan, you can press a button.
If you guys want to see his whole sponsorship, then I'll have the original video down linked below, but honestly, I'm tired of all the VPN ads.
Can't really know what a Surfshark need what your time look information. I don't want the whole world to know that. And one account Surfshark I am checkout. And if that they offer a in today's video. So, how about that Diavolo guy, eh? Unlike the Tojo clan, Passione is ruled with absolute authority. All the power in the gang lies within one person, the king. Passione doesn't have any chairmen to vote on decisions or rules and standards put in place by previous leaders. In Passione, the one at the top calls all the shots, and even suggesting undermining him will get you killed. This man at the top is named Diavolo, except even if you were a member of Passione, you wouldn't know that. Nobody is allowed to know the boss's identity. They just have to refer to him as the boss. In fact, the only person allowed to know who the boss is the person with the second highest position in the gang. And guess what? Guess who holds that position? It's f***ing Diavolo again. He's the boss and his own secretary. These guys are meeting with the boss's number 2, not even knowing that he's secretly the boss. And I mean, I don't even blame them. Look at this goofy looking fella. This does not look like a guy who chops up his own men and makes a freaking ice sculpture with their corpse just to send a message. This is Scott the Waz. There's only one position in the entire organization that could pose a threat to Diavolo. And it's f***ing him again, awesome. I thought the Tojo clan was dysfunctional, but this is a whole nother level. How are these organizations not falling apart? Oh. The reason Diavolo runs his mafia with such an iron fist is the man is enshrouded with overwhelming paranoia. He is constantly terrified that someone is out to get him, that someone, maybe even his most trusted mafia confidants, are trying to assassinate him. Diavolo's paranoia is his primary character trait, and it's reflected in his combat style. A lot of the fights in Yakuza involve two characters face to face, ready to defend their ideology through fists. But that is not how a fight against Diavolo would go. Diavolo is a coward. He would never reveal himself to Kiryu like, "Here I am. Okay, let's fight now." Diavolo is an assassin. He kills his targets from the shadows with one quick strike. There is no exchanging of blows with Diavolo. That puts him at risk, and you should have figured it out by now that Diavolo is not a risk taker. Nope. Kiryu is a great fighter, and part of the reason for that is a lot of the Yakuza goons he goes up against at least have the decency to actually fight him. But look at this guy. Surely if a man who looks like he has a dairy intolerance tried to assassinate Kiryu, he wouldn't be able to, right? I mean, it's not like Diavolo has a crazy supernatural power suited for assassination, right? There's probably some people who clicked on this video for the funny Baka Mitai guy and have no idea what a JoJo is, so I'm gonna try and explain this without sounding completely insane. When you look at Diavolo, you wouldn't think this guy is anything too scary. As they say in Yakuza, appearances are everything, and Diavolo looks more likely to work at Hot Topic than be a seasoned fighter.
I mean, we were thinking it, but I didn't think anyone would actually say it.
Those strengths are a bit more complicated than Kiryu's. As I mentioned earlier, Kiryu is just a guy. An incredibly capable, sexy guy, but you'll never see Kiryu do some shit like tear apart the fabric of space and time. No, everything Kiryu does is grounded in reality. Like when he punched a shark. Diavolo has something called a stand...
It's not quite reality there, pal. That's touching a little bit on shonen style.
Ability, which is basically a summonable avatar that fights on your behalf. Any damage given to the stand is reflected back to the user. Also, normally only other stand users can see stands, but that's an anti-fun rule, especially for these matchups, so we're just gonna ignore that. If you've ever played a Persona game, well, stands are they're literally just what a persona is. What the hell is this blatant thievery? Araki, you gotta sue their ass.
Damn brat! I'll 10 years in the joint.
This stand avatar is where Diavolo gets all of his physical strength, except for maybe that one scene where he was randomly super buff, but never again. Despite how frail and girly pop he looks, this guy has the strength to punch through people, like skin, rib cage, organs, all of it. Okay, Kiryu is strong, but he is not that strong. I don't think Kiryu could do that. Yakuza would be a much different series if Kiryu was going around goring people. Wait a minute. This is Goro Majima, the mad dog of Shimano, and he is a very, very popular character within the community. Whoops. Boy, how'd that get there? In Yakuza...
I need bleach. Oh, I need mental bleach out of that one. Oh. Why? Why would you do something to my poor old eyes? Oh! Oh, boy. Okay, I'm gonna need to take a minute after that. Okay, I'm gonna need more than an hour there to get that image out of my mind, which will never be mentioned again. But we're back to it.
Kiwami, you gotta fight him like 5 times, and each time, Kiryu kicks his ass. Now, the funny thing about Majima is that there's a scene where Majima punches right through a concrete floor. Just straight through. I thought this was supposed to be the Grounded series. What the hell was that? Now, this doesn't necessarily mean Kiryu can also punch through concrete, but it does mean Kiryu knows how to beat people who are unrealistically strong, whether that be Majima or even Diavolo. Being stronger doesn't win you a fight. Kiryu is a veteran fighter. I mean, for Christ's sake, in Yakuza Kiwami 2, the dude fights 2 tigers at once, with his fists. Not even like one after the other, no. He takes both on at once. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking up Kiryu's fighting ability to make up for any kind of lack of strength, because Kiryu is strong. In fact, in Yakuza 0, the guy can fish a freaking shark out of the water, and then in Yakuza 6, he fights a shark. And then there's Kiryu's Tiger Drop, which does more damage than a grenade. And with Beast Style, Kiryu can casually swing around motorcycles. But not just any motorcycle, I'm talking the Honda Super Cub, which weighs in at an impressive 238 pounds. Bullets? Barely a scratch on his health bar. Missiles? Just take a look at this. Hey, did you know 0% of people who watch my videos are subscribed? If we can get to 1% before 2030, I will, I don't know, man, eat a frog or something. Okay, time to reel it back a bit. The point I'm trying to make is, even if Diavolo has the super strength given to him by a stand ability, Kiryu is still a much better fighter than Diavolo. Diavolo doesn't have the fighting experience Kiryu does. In Yakuza 5, Kiryu fights over 100 Tojo thugs at once. And he wins. Unfortunately, there is another aspect to Diavolo that I neglected to mention earlier. The part of Diavolo that would give Kiryu the most trouble. For some reason, Araki the writer of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure really loves his time power shenanigans, because there's like 5 different dudes that mess with time. For Diavolo, he has the ability to erase time. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the series, you probably hear that and go, well, what the hell does that mean? And yeah, I'm not even convinced Araki knows. The best way I can describe time erasure is imagine everyone feels like they leaped forward 10 seconds into the future with a 0 recollection of the time that was erased. It's like when you accidentally tap twice on a YouTube video and get confused, like, what the hell, I thought I was watching Moist Critical. Futurama did time skipping way better, they made it actually make sense. Why did Araki make this so confusing? This time erasing ability is perfect for Diavolo's assassinations. He can swoop in, punch a hole through his opponent, and then erase the last 10 seconds. Now let's go back to the beginning. It's a beautiful Italian morning. Kiryu steps off his plane and into the streets. The man can't even speak a word of Italian, so how is he even gonna get to Diavolo? Remember, no one even knows who Diavolo is, but I actually think Kiryu would have an easier time finding him than Bruno and Co did. Kiryu is a freaking trouble magnet. No matter what he's doing, he seems to always get caught in the middle of some huge mafia shenanigans. If Kiryu roamed the streets for like 10 minutes, I guarantee he'd stumble upon some low-level Passione member causing a little bit of ruckus. And assuming Kiryu doesn't get distracted by all the wacky side quests he'll come across, all Kiryu needs is one Passione member to begin his investigation. Eventually, once he starts sniffing around Passione long enough, he'd probably stumble onto La Squadra's radar. La Squadra being the rogue hitman group hunting Diavolo. Kiryu is a pretty chill guy. He can get along with everyone. I mean, look at this man break it down. If that doesn't win over Risotto Nero, that man truly has no soul. So Kiryu teams up with La Squadra, and with Kiryu's genius mastermind skills, they get DNA from Trish and use it to track down Diavolo. At this point, Kiryu is close to finding Diavolo. Too close for Diavolo's comfort. As I said before, Diavolo's at an advantage when he strikes from the shadows, so I don't think Diavolo will wait for Kiryu to find him. It will be Diavolo who makes the first move. This is Diavolo's biggest opportunity to take down Kiryu. He's got one chance to land a killing strike on Kiryu from the shadows, but could he even succeed? Kiryu has never killed anyone before. At least, that's what the memes say. In reality, the truth behind that statement is debatable. But what this statement really means is, Kiryu has never killed anyone outside of self-defense, because Kiryu is not a murderer. This philosophy of Kiryu being a defensive fighter is all throughout the series. Roaming the streets in the games, you're constantly getting into fights with the local riffraff, but Kiryu's the one always getting attacked. He's not out picking fights, the fights are picking him. Even Kiryu's strongest attack, the Komaki Tiger Drop, is a defensive attack that only works once Kiryu is already getting hit. Now, I'm no expert here, but I feel like after being attacked hundreds, if not thousands of times, you'd probably evolve some kind of sixth sense to sniff out any incoming danger. I know if Diavolo is stalking Kiryu from the shadows, ready to pounce him, Kiryu would probably get some kind of gut reaction that something's about to go down. But what if that's not how Diavolo attacked Kiryu? Hey, remember Diavolo's number 2? Who is also Diavolo? Doppio is the name of Diavolo's alternate personality. As the antithesis to Diavolo, Doppio is your Keanu Reeves wholesome 100 boy who... Now, I know I make the Soylent jokes a lot, but... Come on. No, like, seriously, come on. Another aspect of Kiryu's character is his desire to protect the weak. In Kiryu's mind, a Yakuza is someone who protects the weak outside the confines of the law, and Doppio is the spitting image of someone in need of protection. If Diavolo wanted to assassinate Kiryu, feigning weakness as Doppio is his best option. As leader of Passione, nay, see, I know how to pronounce it, it wouldn't be too hard to orchestrate a scenario where some goons jump Doppio nearby Kiryu, and of course, as the upstanding gentleman Kiryu is, he'd be forced to intervene, leaving him perfectly open to a strike from an unsuspecting villain. Whether or not Kiryu lives or dies depends on whether or not he reacts fast enough. So how good are Kiryu's reflexes? Well, Kiryu's rush style allows him to dodge all sorts of attacks from enemies, including dodging backshots from pistols. But come on, pistols are pathetic. Diavolo's punch is at least a shotgun, and Kiryu never dodged a shot. Not only can Kiryu dodge a shotgun blast, he only started to move after the shotgun shot. Alright, Kiryu, if you're pulling all of that, I have no qualms you can't dodge punches from King Crimson. Is this reaching? Okay, maybe. That's because I'm trying to see some fighting. Enough with this yellow-bellied assassination crap. Come on, Diavolo! Fight him like a man! Oh. Oh my. In an actual fight, Kiryu kills Diavolo. I'm sorry for ripping the band-aid off like that, but Kiryu whoops his ass. Kiryu has everything you need in a fight. He's experienced, strong, trained in multiple martial arts, and has so many feats to back up his fighting ability. Did I mention Kiryu has Spider-Man powers? I never played Yakuza Like a Dragon Gaiden the Man Who Erased His Name, but are my eyes deceiving me, or is Kiryu web-slinging with all his little gadgets and gizmos? He's also got that one Black Ops 3 specialist ability too. The bees! I wish I could go over some crazy stuff Diavolo has done, but he's done nothing. He got creamed by a homeless dude. Diavolo got smoked by Nanba. You know what would happen if Kiryu got into a death loop? He'd get out. That's what. Oh, you'll never reach the truth? Well, you will never see your family again because Kazuma Brian Kiryu is gonna break out and he's gonna get you. I've really got to get some more fair matchups for these videos, man. In Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, the new inventory system means Kiryu can slug around thousands of items on him without being weighed down. The Komaki Tiger Drop sends people flying farther than Kakyoin, except not really. The Komaki Tiger Drop allows Kiryu to parry any attack and take 0 damage. Kiryu gets iframes. What the hell is Diavolo gonna do against iframes? Erase? Oh. The only way Diavolo can beat Kiryu is if he gets this woman to do it. Oh, and I guess if the whole Doppio assassination attempt really does work out. Otherwise, in a fair 1v1 fight, Kiryu smokes Diavolo. Time erasure be damned. Stand avatar be damned. Please subscribe so I don't have to eat ice soup again for dinner. If you like...
Okay, that got me. Ice soup. The more you know about people's diets. Oh boy, yeah. Whoo, yeah, Kiryu versus Diavolo. Yeah, with the evidence stacked up, Kiryu in a straight-up fight would definitely beat up Diavolo, but Diavolo in assassination would defeat Kiryu. So yeah, it really depends. It's that coin toss. Does the assassination take down Kiryu, or does Kiryu take down Diavolo by dodging it? So basically all you gotta think about, which one comes better? In the meantime, you guys take care. Look forward to hearing from you soon. And see you guys next video. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. And we'll see who else we can reach with this fun content between animes, tokusatsu, all this stuff. Just having fun with it. You guys take care. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!